everybody. I'm here with Chad Mallam of Air Lab Creative. Hi, Chad. How are you doing today?
Hi, good morning or good evening.
Good You get both.
Yes.
Well, no one knows I've known Chad since 2001, I believe. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
long time. Well, it's good to see you.
You too. Yes. You know, fun fact, Jennifer hired me for my very first TV job. And I actually had to beg her to hire me because I was so poor at the time. And it was the only job that I could find in TV. And the rest is history.
How long have you been doing what you're doing in the industry?
Ever since I graduated college, I went to school at Texas A&M, got a degree in architecture. My parents were really proud. And then I just left-turned and went into entertainment. And that was pretty much it. I loved it so much. My first couple jobs were in animation. Then when I met Jennifer, we started working in television promotions, marketing. I found it so fascinating that people actually made trailers for everything, local news, everything. And it was such a neat job. I was hooked immediately, and that's been essentially the course of my career for the last 20 some odd years.
So tell us what Air Lab does.
So Air Lab is essentially, it's a full service creative shop. And the story behind Air Lab is so interesting because we didn't actually start out to do this. It was quite the opposite. A couple of years ago, me and some buddies were really into space. I went to space camp as a kid, and we thought, is there a space channel? And if there's not, we should probably make one. And it's that old saying, like out in Los Angeles, everyone has like a side hustle. And, instead of us writing a screenplay or whatever, we thought, let's see if we can build a TV network in our garage. And the technology was there to do all this. But at the time, TV networks were, this is $100 million operation, and this is just a couple of guys and some beer, and we're like, let's figure it out. What that led us to was such an interesting journey because we realized at one point that in order to make this thing work, we had to reinvent almost every aspect of the production, design, post-production, live action shooting. Everything had to be redone and also fit in the space of like a 10 by 10 garage. As we started to launch the network, the actual creative and the process that we developed started making more revenue than the actual network, which was amazing. And so at a certain point, Air Lab was creating, we just called ourselves that as the internal team, and was creating all the content for various people. And then we realized maybe we should actually build this out. Space Channel, that's on, there's movies and it's great. But this was something that we realized we could offer a service that was at such a unique rate and position in the marketplace, and deliver really high-end product. And that was a result of all these little things that we had to do to figure out how do you build a TV network that looks like something that you would see on cable. So, we combined design, we combined, editing, audio mixing all into one timeline, and used something that just came out a couple of years ago called procedurally generated animation. And this is using machine learning and AI so that animators no longer have to create every single step of the animation. There are computer components in between along the way that actually interpolate and figure out where things should or should not go. And you have the ability to randomize that and tinker with it and all that. And that one little driving piece of tech changed everything and allowed us to create just beautiful, beautiful stuff through a bunch of essentially code. And so that's where we can do graphics, live productions. What you're seeing right now is a piece of our technology that we've developed where, we can actually produce a whole live event with people around the world. We've done it multiple times in different time zones all around, all on the same screen, talking about the same thing in sync, and with packages and music. And we're looking at this and we're like, we just need a couple laptops and a camera, and let's go. So that's the new world that we see in terms of creative and production. And the name Lab actually comes from the fact that this was really an experiment that worked out. And we always feel like we're experimenting because someone will develop something tomorrow that could change everything. I mean, even like, here's a good example. Even our lights are connected to the internet. So we can dim lights remotely, so you can produce a show from far away, change the lighting. The whole schema is all on a little box like this.
Show them one of your sound effects.
Oh, yeah. You told me not to use that one.
I know, but that's funny. Chad has one of the most creative minds I've ever seen, ever. And I'm not just saying that because we're doing an interview together. It's amazing, and you'll be awed at what Chad and his team can do. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
It'll really pump up your creative and.
No, I thank you. We have so much fun doing this, and I think one of the reasons that a lot of what we make seems to just land so well and be fun to watch because we have a lot of fun making this. That to me has always been the secret, and because this started out as really what was a passion project for a bunch of space nerds, that we're thinking like where can you watch Plan 9, and The Day the Earth Stood Still, like the original versions. Like, there's just not a place for that. And so that essence has really permeated into this team that we've built. And now, some of the guys that we found had never, this is amazing, had never edited or even used a computer until about 2 years ago. And we've been incubating this talent. And this guy's name is Zach. He's incredible. A lot of the stuff that you'll see, trailers and everything else, in the marketplace, he's making. And he's a 21-year-old kid, creative like you've never seen. And it's amazing to watch the growth of someone who was like, all right, what's Final Cut or what's After Effects again? And then a year or two later, he's making network level trailers and doing design and graphics and posters and like products like coffee mugs and stuff. It just became this a really fascinating turn of events, and space led us to Houston, and so did AirLab. We realized that there's a need for this out here, and I think hopefully we can help out with that.
I think you can make a big difference, to a lot of companies who really want to up their look, make it slick and professional and high end. And I know, I'm telling you, I've seen it, and I'm not just saying that because we're interviewing each other, but it's really amazing stuff. So I'm glad you're here. Very glad you're here. What's the best way for people to reach you?
Right now, production@airlabcreative.com. That's a global email. We all get it. We're going to be pushing out more of those as the website gets developed. We just finished our sizzle reel. So you can either email me at production@airlabcreative.com or just give me a call. The number is 415-377-8187.
Very good. Well, thank you for joining us today, Chad. This was fun. I love the sound effects.
Yeah, all right.
The graphics are gorgeous.